Hello footy fans, welcome to the final episode of the Ultimate AFL show for season 2016. In today's show, I'm going to be wrapping up the 2016 AFL Grand Final, telling you who won. Well, you can probably see who won as I'm wearing my gear and I've got the decorations up here. The Western Bulldogs premiers of 2016. I'm going to tell you how they did it in just a moment with a full recap of the game. And that's basically it in this show because it's all about the Grand Final and the Western Bulldogs. So let's get straight in to looking back at the 2016 Grand Final. Okay, so of course on Saturday the 1st of October at 2:30 PM the ball was bounced for the 2016 AFL Grand Final between the Sydney Swans and the Western Bulldogs. Of course the Dogs trying to create history by gaining their first Premiership Cup since 1954. This was their first Grand Final since 1961. They've had to wait so long, as I told you last week. And it did start in their favour. The Swans did kick the first goal, but then they kicked the next two in what was a low-scoring, kind of high-intensity, nervous first term. The first goal was by Kieran Jack, but then Cordy... And the first goal was by Luke Parker, but the next goals came from the Bulldogs, Cordy and Dixon, with the next two, and of course they had a quarter time lead, 2-0 the Dogs to the Swans 1-2. The second quarter was interesting. There was a few highlights. Tom Boyd's ripping goal from the boundary line was just absolutely outstanding. Nick Smith kicked a goal. He's a defender and he kicked a goal in this quarter. Josh Kennedy was absolutely outstanding in this second quarter. In the first half in general, kicked 2 goals and racked up a heap of disposals. Was the leading disposal getter at half time. And the Swans, well, they had a 2-point lead. Toby McLean reduced that margin to 2 points, and the Swans had a 2-point lead at half time, 7-3 to 7-1. The third quarter, though, the Dogs were able to get the edge. It was them in front at three-quarter time, 9-7 to 8-5. The Sydney Swans, and well, the fourth quarter was absolutely outstanding. It was close up until probably 10 minutes to go when the Dogs were just able to take the game away. Picken, he marked an absolutely sensational mark, just flew up in the air. Someone needed to take a big mark for the Dogs. He did just that by marking an absolute beauty. Stringer basically kicked a big-time goal. He's a big-time player. Probably didn't show it in this game, but at the back end, he was able to register himself on the goal sheet. Picken put the Dogs up at one stage by 7 points, and then it just went from there. Boyd kicked the next one, and then Picken, Liam Picken, he's been a sensational player for the Dogs this year, put the nail in the coffin, and the Dogs won. The Dogs won by 22 points. They are premiers of the 2016 AFL season. The final score, the Sydney Swans, 10-7, 67 to the Western Bulldogs, 13-11, 89. The goal kickers for the Swans, Kennedy kicked 3, Mitchell kicked 2, Parker Smith, Rowan Franklin and Hewitt kicked singles. And then for the Dogs, Tom Boyd, Dixon kicked 3, Picken also kicked 3, and then Cordy, McLean, Smith and Stringer kicked singles each. And then, well, the game was played in front of over 99,981 people at the MCG, and Jason Johannesson won the Norm Smith medal. He won it with 10 votes. Josh Kennedy, second best with 8. Tom Boyd, the next best with 7 votes. And then Liam Picken rounding out the top 4 there of the Norm Smith leaderboard votes with 5 votes. So congratulations to Jason Johannesson. Congratulations to the Western Bulldogs. You can see I'm a supporter. I've been a supporter since I was born. And I tell you what, nothing can describe this feeling at the moment. The Dogs, premiers of 2016, and I tell you what, there was a beautiful moment at the end of the game when Luke Beveridge handed over his medal to Bob Murphy, the captain of our club. Remarkably got injured in round 3. It seems like so long ago now, and it seemed like our season was just heading in the wrong direction. But geez, how things can change. And there's been so many highs and lows for the Western Bulldogs this year. Injuries, some sadness, but it all doesn't count for much anymore because the Western Bulldogs have achieved the highest accolade, and that was winning the Grand Final, winning their second Premiership Cup in their long club history. So their first since 1954. So for the members out there, this is for them, those long supporting members. I'm lucky. I'm only 19. Hopefully I get to see a lot more Premiership Cups than this. Hopefully they can go back to back next season. Of course, that will be on the mind once they get over this. Once they celebrate hard over this victory, and they should spend as much time as they need to celebrate this victory. I know I will, because this has been a long time in the making, and no words can describe it. I don't think it's sunk in just yet. It hasn't sunk in just yet. So, remarkable Grand Final. One of the best stories I think we've seen for some time. The Western Bulldogs, premiers of 2016. Well, that is it for this episode of the Ultimate AFL Show, and well, that's it for season 2016 of this show. I've been doing this ever since the first round of the NAB Cup, and it's been, 30 odd weeks of doing this show, and it comes to an end after what was probably one of the most remarkable and best seasons we'll see of the AFL. A big thank you to everyone who watches this show each and every week. It's been a pleasure putting this together. And hopefully I'll be back next year with a similar show, if not the same show. I love previewing the games each and every week, and hopefully I'm back next season doing this show. So, of course, don't forget to like, comment and share this video. Don't forget to stay tuned by subscribing. Of course, the summer's coming up, so there's some more content coming up over the summer that's not AFL related. But if you like your horse racing and stuff, then do stay tuned, because that's what I'll be doing over the summer. So that is it for this episode for the Ultimate AFL Show for season 2016. Congratulations to the Western Bulldogs, premiers of 2016. I'm going to be celebrating for a long time, for many weeks, probably until Christmas, because I tell you what, every Western Bulldogs member, supporter, fan has been waiting a long time for this. So until next year, bye for now. Go Dogs.